Good afternoon, good morning. This is Mark Johnson from Loyalty360. Hope everyone's happy, safe, and well. Want to welcome you back to another edition of Loyalty Live. In this series, we speak with leading agencies, technology partners, and consultants in customer, channel, and brand loyalty about the technology trends and best practices they are seeing in the industry that impact ability to drive unique experiences, enhance engagement, and most importantly, drive customer loyalty. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Ravi Srinivasan, who's the President and Chief Executive Officer for Group FiO. How are you today, Ravi?
Fine, thank you, Mark. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. First off, we'd like to start these on a personal level. We enjoy asking those we're speaking with a couple of questions about them personally, what they like, what they don't like. But first off, would love to know a little bit about you, your history, your background, and then your current role with Group FiO and what you do there.
Sure, absolutely. So a little bit of my history. I grew up in Africa, and Africa is always my passion. I'm an engineer, and I have worked in the manufacturing sector, and about 30 years ago, I moved across into retail and distribution. IT and consumers and how we interact with consumers has always been a passion, and that's why I started with FiO, where we focus on loyalty solutions. So I also double up as a chief product officer, and that's my current role. Little fun fact about myself, I guess, is I love to travel, I scuba dive and I hike, got 4 kids, and I love supporting children with special needs, where we have programs in Venezuela, India, Canada, US, and Africa.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, then, Group FiO. Interesting company. You guys are doing some very unique things. For those who may not be familiar with Group FiO, can you give us a brief overview of the organization, what you guys do, who you do it, maybe industries that you focus in?
Sure, absolutely. So we focus on retail, distribution, and consumer goods. And in those sectors, we do B2B, B2C, and direct-to-consumer as well. Our primary focus, we have 5 fundamental solutions. I'm going to focus on loyalty today, but we do have 4 other solutions that we work on. They all interact and culminate in a loyalty platform. So our loyalty offering fundamentally is an out-of-the-box platform that gives you the ability to market to one-on-one to every practical measure that you can execute. Now, what that means is that we offer meaningful marketing interactions. Under the covers, we have 2 platforms that support that. One is a customer data platform and a customer engagement platform that has a lot of analytics that cover it. And we also have a cutting-edge communication platform that interacts and coordinates all the communication for the brand and try to build actionable strategies for you. So when you do this at scale of what we provide, each consumer will experience the brand in as close to a one-on-one experience as we can give them within the cohort that's available. So we focus on 3 things. How do you increase brand advocacy? And how do you increase your wallet share? And how do you increase engagement? That's our 3 things we deliver.
Okay, excellent. When you look at kind of increasing market share, some of the 3 things that you do, when you look at increasing market share, increasing engagement, is there kind of something that works very well for brands they may not be doing that you kind of help them with to leverage your platform?
Sure. So the one thing we do very well is leveraging zero-party data, that is self-declared data, of course, and first-party data, and hyper-personalizing that data with either artificial intelligence tools or machine learning tools in order to build cohorts. So where we help brands is how do you message and how do you build context-sensitive messages that incorporate communication patterns, communication transaction patterns, and any segmentation data and personalization data we have captured, and leverage that into a messaging environment so it's always true in the moment, whether I'm in a shopping cart, whether I'm in a store and talking to a personal assistant, or in a customer support center. That's how we break down our differentiation and how we help brands. Now, a lot of that, of course, has to work with some level of automation so that you can provide these values at scale.
Okay, excellent. When you look at customer loyalty, we always like to, ask the brands, the consultants, the agencies that we speak with, how they define customer loyalty. Because I think having kind of a deeper understanding of how people define it helps us socialize it and understand. So we'd love to know, how you and Group FiO define customer loyalty and what it means to your organization.
Sure, absolutely. So we define loyalty in a very simple way. How do you build a brand advocate? Because that really says it all, right? So when you build a brand advocate and somebody who's loyal, they have experiences. And those experiences mean they give you positive feedback. And you see it by the measure, right? You see it by their results. You see that they forgive you when you got a problem. And that's a big thing because brands are going to make mistakes. How do they forgive you? How do you increase their market wallet share? Right? Are they spending more with you? And are they willing to spend more with you? Are they willing to give you more zero-party data? And all of those parameters together is really the definition of a brand advocate, because then they're promoting you, they're spending more with you, they're giving you more feedback, and they're self-declaring more information for you. That's how we define loyalty, which then goes into a whole bunch of other things like customer experience and how you interact with them, et cetera.
Okay. And when you look at your clients, the technology, the kind of strategy you bring to them, are there a couple of things that are working for your clients that are successful in their efforts to drive customer experience, to increase that advocacy, to impact customer loyalty? A couple of things that are working well. Can you give us an example or two?
Sure, of course I can. So let me give you an example of a shoe retailer, for example. We have I don't like to use actual brand names because they're sensitive information. But we took a basic loyalty points offer and gave them a methodology to approach their consumers with personalized time-sensitive offers that were based on their interests, either declared through zero-party data or we could get, for example, their interest in travel, their interest in hobbies, their interest in purchasing a particular kind of product line, their wish lists, etc. And when we made it more time sensitive and we made it to their interests, what we allowed that foot retailer to do was increase their overall transaction value. And what we got back is the customer attribute that comes back is, I love this, so I buy more. Because what we were doing is giving them the right messaging at the right time. And that's what the moment in time marketing was. If I were to use another example that was more of an apparel, soft lines, for example, where we wanted to reduce potential markdowns and loyalties around giving people a good feeling, right? So it wasn't about the brand's vision was let me reduce markdown, but the loyalty version of that was let me give the right consumers the ability to buy this product before it goes on markdown and make it go away at full price. Right? And we were able to do that by leveraging inventory and allowing a sense of urgency and also looking at what they wanted. What is a propensity to buy? And that propensity made the difference for them. And those were kind of examples how we had for the retailers want to interact more with the brand because they were getting what they wanted.
Okay, excellent. Another big challenge we see with regard to customer loyalty, customer experience, even advocacy being attribution being a big one. When you look at the strategy work, the technology work that you have, metrics and being able to measure is very important for the brands. Yeah. Are there specific KPIs or metrics that you have that you use to help the brands, show the efficacy, show the efficiency, show the impact of your programs?
Okay, that's so what we do is we do measure all the standard things, right? Standard things are like email opens and clicks and engagement data and conversion rates, et cetera. But the ones we need to watch for is content consumption. So we look at that. We look at how much time are you actually spending on a website? Not the fact that you came, not the fact you're a user. How much time are you actually spending, which tells me the percentage of time, not just share of wallet you spend, share of time that you spend with us, and their participation in zero-party data collection. Because what that does is they are more open and they trust you. That's the trust relationship we're building. So we kind of measure things like that are softer and qualitative at the same time. And if you look at economic metrics, we track standard things like CLV and average basket, recency, frequency, monetary, et cetera. But we also track softer measures. Are they buying full price? Are they buying discounted? Are they buying displayed merchandise? Are they buying what we think is their propensity to buy? So we're looking at the softer measures, what I call the qualitative measures as well. So that is some of the things we do measure. The specifics of the qualitative measure will change by brand, but that's one of our focus points in addition to all the standard metrics that almost everybody will track today.
Okay. Is there a current trend or technology or maybe even idea or thought that you believe is very important to brands to focus on today regarding customer loyalty, customer experience?
Yeah. A much talked about area today, of course, is hyper-personalization and segmentation. Is it a hot topic? Yes. And a lot of people have to focus on that. But that doesn't mean much if I cannot leverage it with the zero-party data as well. And CLV cohort management, though it seems very basic, managing zero-party and personalization along with the customer lifecycle value, which is your CLV, and how to manage those cohorts, I think is one of the things that we have to manage as a hot trend today. The last item, of course, is communication. There's a lot of communication going on back and forth on the internet, on social media, et cetera, and the technology to bring that together and to understand what promotes a brand and what negates the brand is a hot topic, and we try to focus on that as well.
Okay. And kind of follow to that, is there one piece of advice that you would give to a brand or share with a brand that may want to increase or enhance their customer loyalty or customer experience strategies?
Absolutely. There are some straightforward things like be consistent across all channels. I still find a lot of brands don't have that level of consistency. Ease of doing business, that's a critical point that they have to focus on as well. And always think of giving something back. Where the brands too often are looking at what's inward to them. I want more money, I want more revenue, I want more customers. Let's think about what the customer is getting back. What do they get? And that's more important. And if even in simple things like we offer personalized offers versus maybe from a consumer point of view, they have to feel that they're being fed in a timely fashion, right? I am getting offers that pertain to me. The very thinking of that needs to change. And that's the one piece of advice I'd give. Go more consumer-centric rather than brand-centric.
Okay. Excellent. And the last question we have, what can Loyalty360 do as an association for customer loyalty to help others focused on their, customer experience and customer loyalty efforts?
Sure. There are three kinds of things I think that are useful. Number one is promote education and education opportunities in the industry, whether it's in core analytics, loyalty processes, customer experience, styles and methods to achieve that. That one is education, which is for the industry at large. The second thing is promote value change within brands. There are a lot of brands that work together within the same consumer cohorts. Maybe promote that interaction and facilitate that. The third one is creating a value chain, I think, between service organizations that together can give value to a brand or a set of brands, and assisting that in terms of bringing those pieces together is a challenge, but it's something I think Loyalty360 is ideally suited to deliver.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for that feedback. And thank you for taking the time to share some of your thoughts around customer loyalty. And also, it was great getting an overview of the platform, the technology, and how you were working to help brands enhance their advocacy efforts, which I think is very germane and very topical, an area of interest for our audience for sure. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Talk to you later.
Absolutely. And thank you everyone for listening. Make sure you join us again soon for another edition of Loyalty Live. Have a wonderful day.